Well, we're at the old fair site. It's July 3rd and just came in from the frontier town, and this is the road to Finance Hill. And then as we pan to the right, there's the plain that used to have the beginning of the Renaissance Fair and the entry. And you can see it's a lovely, cool morning. And we're going to do a little walking on the old fair site and put out a geocache. So we'll be doing that and showing you some of the terrain of the fair site in the good old days, back in the 30 years. So stay tuned. A little bit of remnants of spring at the site. Okay, we're on top of what everybody used to call Finance Hill, and we're looking out towards the front of the fair. And that little road that you see in the bottom of the frame was the road they put in after the bridge burnt one year. They had this lovely bridge over a culvert, and it burnt when the fire came through here. And you can see a procession hill, and then this area up in here was the roads, and then oops, sorry, this was what they used to call the high road. This was called the high road, and this is where the Queen's procession started, was underneath this oak tree. And you can see down into the hollow is where the Renaissance Fair was. And as I pan to the left, this was more backstage, and then here's the road we came up, and check cashing was right here, and then Bob Stewart's juggling school was right here on top of Finance Hill next to the check cashing. And I spent a couple of fun years teaching juggling to people up here. And then, like I said, we go looking east out towards the front of the fair, which there were a lot of booths and stuff. So, more coming up. There's a piece of bark that I thought was a little bird perching there in an oak tree. It could have fooled me. And here we got the lovely oaks of chipping under oak wood. And there's looking towards the main stage area, and gentleman hiking up there, and then there was Soka Bloke and Drencher Wench was in here, and then another big tree. And again, you old-timers will remember Procession Road down to the main stage, and then it split. And here's the other road, and it went up to the pinwheel booth and the windmill booth on the top of the high point here. And there we got Procession Hill for all you other noon show members like myself, and we would march down the hill, and then come across here and go to main stage and see what's going on and do our noon show. So looks like everything. Okay, we're at the bottom of where the two roads meet, Procession Road and Pinwheel Road, and we're looking back to Finance Hill. So all you Queen Show folks would remember this area, because this was the main Procession Road, and we're looking back up towards the hill that had all the food booths and stuff. And then panning around north. Underneath these two oak trees sometimes was the glade, courtly glade. And we're going to follow this road around, try to find where Main Stage was back in the day, and then head up towards Witch's Wood. And we just came over the bridge from the two oak trees up the hill, and as people might recognize, this flat area here was where Main Stage was. And people will recognize the oak tree in the center. And all the seating was underneath these two oak trees with tarps. And so this is what it looks like on July 3rd, 2010. A lot of entertainment and a lot of people entertained. This was a famous oak tree near Main Stage, and as we pan out, this flat area was where the obscene juggler Craig Dean used to perform. And then the Green Man Inn was in here for a place to relax and have your lunch with participants. Which was always fondly remembered by a lot of the performers. So, near the shade or under the shade of the wonderful oak tree. And we're moving on more towards Witch's Wood now. And we're going by the famous oak by the Green Man, and looks like there's a little bit of spiritual activity here with this memento left on the great green oak here. And people will probably remember this oak tree because LeVar Burton was put into it for the episode of Reading Rainbow, and there's some old rope hanging down from it back in the day. A lot of memories. I'll shoot a little video of this because people remember. This was for those people that ate Steak on a Steak. This was Steak on a Steak and several other food booths along the way here back in the day. For those of us who got food tickets, we just found an ant highway here, black ant highway that was carrying all their provisions and their eggs and everything across the road here, right over the trail here that everybody walks. They've worn it smooth. Let's zoom out so you can kind of see. They've actually made like a little line in the trail from their little feet. Black ants. Busy, busy, busy. And finally we got back to the coolest in temperature, the quietest and the most mystical part of the fair site, and that's Witch's Wood. And we're looking towards where Witch's Wood stage was. Right there, and then as we pan west or to the left, this is where the fortune tellers and gypsy camp was, and you could see an extremely large amount of oak trees, which lent this area to be very magical and mystical in many people's views. And so that's why they made it Witch's Wood, for all that kind of magical stuff. And I'm sure if we look in some of the trees, we'll find remnants of people putting up a lot of little mementos for the fair. At least I know the last weekend of the fair, a lot of people came in here and put things up in the trees, like little mementos and ribbons and stuff. So we're going to look for those. Seeing a few. Well, that's what's left of Witch's Wood on the fair site. And as we slowly say goodbye and walk back out to the frontier town to end our visit, you will no doubt have enjoyed this little visit in the time machine that was the Renaissance Fair for 30 plus years. So we will say adieu as we head on the road back out to the car. Here's a nice little grove of sweet peas with Mr. Bumblebee here. Mr. Bumble. And there he goes. Let's see if the camera operator is any decent. And he sucks, because he lost him. Alright, well, I'll widen out so you can see. A big mass of sweet peas. Isn't that pretty? With the Bumblebee brothers. And we'll try to catch some more wildlife on our walk out. As we were walking out of Witch's Wood, I came to the road that heads to Actors Camp, Pig Gulch, and Procession Hill. And there's top of Procession Hill with our little procession road down it, and coming out to the road, and then up this road was Actors Camp back in the day when we were all quite a bit younger. So kind of fun. I don't know how many people remember this oak here by Procession Road. They had this big burl here, and it's still here. And again, we're walking slowly out, and it's a nice overcast, cool day in July. And there's the woodpeckers talking to you, and you can see a little bit of the low clouds in the background coming over the Santa Monica Hills. So another little photo spot from the old fair days.